Now that you all know everything that there is to know about regular expressions, this lecture is just going to be a whirlwind through a bunch of syntactic sugar that might make your life a little bit easier. Let's go right in. First, let's talk about a bunch of special characters. There are some characters that you probably wouldn't want to do without, so in order to match any of the white space characters, you can use a \r for a new line, \n for the other new line character, \t is a tab character, and \b is a backspace character. I have no idea why you would ever want to match a backspace character, but in case you ever have a string that includes the backspace character as a character inside of it, that is what you would use. While these are ones that you probably wouldn't want to do without, there are also some more just kind of ease-of-use characters that are substitutes for ranges. So \d will match any digit, so instead of saying the group 1 through 9, you can just say \d. \w is any word character, so letters and numbers are word characters, and basically this is saying if you want to do anything that's not kind of a space or something like that. And on the other side, if you want to do something that is a white space character, then you use \s. So this will match things like spaces and new lines and tabs. If you want to do the opposite of any of these, then you can do \D, \W, and \S. And you might not be able to tell the difference between lowercase s and capital S, but believe me, there is a difference. And what these will do are basically the inversion of one of the ones on the left. So for instance, if I said \D, that would be the same as saying not \lowercase d. One thing to note is that \b has a different meaning inside a character class as it does outside a character class. So from inside a character class, in other words, if you have bracket \b, that is the backspace character, whereas if you just have normal \b, then that is a boundary character. Boundary meaning boundary between a word and a non-word. So word as it is defined here, that means that if you have .\b, then that will match the last character in a word. So if you have ABC, then .\b will match this C. Next, what if I want to do something optionally? The most basic way to do this is using the OR character. So if you say ABC, or, so that is a pipe, DEF, then this will match either ABC or DEF. And you can integrate this with larger regular expressions, just like you would with anything else. If you just want to make something completely optional instead of using one of two options, then yes, you can do something like ABC or blank and just close the parentheses right there. But you can also use the question mark character, which says the previous item is optional. So if you said something like paren ABC question mark, that would be saying you can do ABC or you could just not. And the question mark character is greedy, which means that it will try to match it if it can. In regular expressions, there is something that is called greedy versus lazy. Greedy means that it tries to do as much as it possibly can. Lazy means that it tries to do as little as it possibly can. So for instance, if I had .star, then that would be saying match any character at any number of times. And how many is any number of times? If it was lazy, it would always match 0 characters, because 0 character is any character any number of times. Greedy would say that if I had a line that was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it would match the entire line when I said .star. Most of the things that we've learned so far are in fact greedy, and if you want to make something that is greedy turn lazy, you can add a question mark at the end of it. So for instance, star question mark is the lazy star, meaning it will try to just completely skip the item, and it will only include the item if it is necessary in order to make the regular expression work. So greedy means it does as much as possible, lazy means it does as little as possible. And you already know about the star character, which will match the previous item 0 or more times, but it's also a pretty common use case to want to match something 1 or more times, and that is where the plus comes in. If you use plus instead of star, that will match the previous item 1 or more times. So ABC star will match no ABCs, or 1 ABC, or 2 ABC, or 3 ABC, whereas if you say ABC plus, then that will match only 1 ABC, or 2 ABC, or 3 ABC or more. The last thing to talk about is look-aheads and look-behinds. A look-ahead will match something only if it is followed by the look-ahead. And there's also the inverted look-ahead, which will match only if it is not followed by that thing. So for instance, if I were to say foo, and then in a group question mark equals is the look-ahead character, or what you have to put inside the start of a group in order to make it a look-ahead. And then bar. Then this would say match foo only when it is foo bar. If you want to do the inverted look ahead, then you can say foo question mark not bar. And this will match anything that is not foo bar, so it will match foo baz. Or it won't match foo baz, it will match the foo in foo baz. If you want to do a look behind, that's pretty much the same, except for you say question mark less than or equals, and then bar, and then foo, which will match the foo in bar foo. To do inverted, you do it the same way as before, so question mark less than not bar foo will match baz foo and will not match bar foo. And what this means is that you are matching the regular string, so you're matching, in all of these examples, the foo, but you are only matching that when something like this exists in its surroundings. So when the look ahead or when the look behind exists in the surroundings. And if you want to get more of an idea of when you would actually use lookarounds, then check out the website regularexpressions.info. This website is a very good general reference on regular expressions, and it also has a pretty in-depth tutorial on when you would use something like lookarounds. It also has good tutorials on other topics, but it has some examples. For instance, lookarounds are good if you want to test a given part of the word for multiple conditions, or if you don't just want to use an inverted character or a character for some reason or another. For instance, when you're using it with word boundaries. And that's pretty much all there is to know about regular expressions. There are also conditional regular expressions if you want to kind of nest some extra logic inside of a regular expression, so only do this one match in certain conditions and only do anything else in other conditions. But overall, that makes something that is already pretty complicated even more complicated. So for the sake of clear code and clear scripts, I would probably avoid doing stuff like that. And that brings me to a quote that I will close with. It is by Jamie Zawinski. And that quote is, "Some people, when confronted with a problem, think, I know, I'll use regular expressions." And now they have two problems.